Guys, today we've got Yeezy making a huge comeback this year. Things are looking pretty bleak for resale stores, and it looks like Nike is going to make this year one of the biggest years in sneakers ever. Welcome to the midweek re-up, guys. We've got a decent amount of upcoming stuff to talk about. Not too much to recap, so we're just gonna jump straight into it today. First one has to be about Supreme, which is happening tomorrow, and this is not one of their drops. This is their end of year sale, or I guess beginning of the year. It's their sale that they do every single year, and this one is expected to happen tomorrow, so January the 9th on Thursday. They also say that Palace is supposed to be doing a sale on Friday, and there's a lot of questions of whether this is going to be online or just in store, and I think we don't really know. But as far as I can tell, there will be an online sale, so it's definitely worth checking out if you wanted any discounted Supreme pieces or any discounted items from Palace. Now, sticking with Supreme, we've got on-foot looks at pretty much every single Nike SB Dunk that they're supposed to be dropping this year. It seems like every week there's a new colorway. It's supposed to be like 5 or 6 different pairs that they're going to be dropping this year. So the first one and the latest on-foot shots that we have is of my least favorite colorway, and that is the triple white one. This one just seems to be like a lower tier version of the rest of them. Just specifically in the material department, this is just like plain old Nike Dunk leather, whereas the rest are all like suede, which we'll get to in a second. Also, the colorway on this isn't that great. Like, it's literally just white with a gray Nike swoosh. Sure, it's super simple and super wearable, so if you're into that, this could be the one that you like. As you can see, they're looking pretty much exactly how you expect a all-over white pair of Nike Dunks with Supreme would look like. The only real Supreme branding on here is the 94 at the back. Maybe there's some branding on the tongue as well, although I can't really see from this. Things get a little bit more exciting when we can see the purple one. Again, like I said, better materials, or at least different materials to kind of make the colorway just pop a little bit more. But I think my favorite has to be the blue, just blue and black, really nice colors to go together. And again, yeah, you can actually see from this shot, there is no Supreme branding on the tongue, which is pretty interesting. We've also got some shots of the, I think this is yellow and black. As far as I can tell, like the color of the black is a little bit off from this shot. That's what it looks like. Again, exact same vibe. Like literally the only different one is going to be the all over white pair, just because of like the simple colors, and then obviously the fact that it's leather instead of suede. You get Supreme branded insoles, as well as a Supreme tag, and then some extra laces as well. I wonder if it's just the black pair or if there's going to be multiple. But then those are the only ones that we've seen on foot. Now we're also going to be getting the black pair, literally all over black suede with a red sock liner. I imagine Supreme insoles as well. 94 branding on the back. But this post does give us an idea of an actual release date, which we haven't found just yet. So that is May the 1st, 2025. No idea how they're going to do this drop, whether they're literally just going to drop all 5 pairs, or if some of them are going to be like super exclusive to different locations in store only, and then there's like one pair that drops online. We're going to have to wait and see, but as soon as we get any more information, I'll let you guys know. Right, this post is pretty insane. Like, we all knew sneakers in 2025 was going to be pretty crazy, but the first 3 months, so literally just the first quarter, just Nike collabs. Take a look at this list. These are all of the collaborations Nike is going to be doing literally just in the first 3 months. We've got Ma Maniere, Bode, CDG, Cortez, CPFM. I wonder what they're going to be dropping. Dover Street Market, Nigel, Sylvester, Nigo, Nocta, and Drake. Ricardo Tisci, Salehe. Interested to see what they do for 2025. Hopefully it's some good stuff like they did in years prior and not what they've recently been dropping. Size, that's a UK retailer. Supreme, obviously all of those dunks. Travis Scott, we're already getting one of the Nike sneakers this month on the 17th. That's those Zoom Field Jacks. Undefeated, I don't know what that is going to be. Obviously the 4s are going to be dropping, I believe, in June or July, so maybe that is going to be like pushed or move forwards. Venita Carter, and finally Yuto Horigome. All of these are just in the first 3 months. That's crazy. Let me know which collaboration you are excited for the most out of just this list. Insane year to look forward to. Let's keep it moving. Right, I want to get into some releases that are happening right around the corner. So we've got some for January, some for early February. Starting off with Kobe. We just got a full announcement of a bunch of different models. The first one that's going to be dropping this month is on January the 9th, and that is the Kobe 5 Protro Eggplant. So this obviously falls into the Lunar New Year apparel collection. So they've obviously got these shoes and then a bunch of clothing to go along with it. These are definitely not bad. I don't mind this colorway. I think the snake on the side is pretty dope. You do get some pretty crazy special packaging to go along with it in like this silk red bag, and then you've got like a special box as well for for the Lunar New Year. But of course, like I said, we got an announcement with a bunch of different Kobe sneakers, kind of like this is only just a fraction of what's going to be dropping, but these are the ones that are happening right around the corner. 4 different models. We just spoke about the eggplant colorway. We're getting the red colorway of that same Kobe 5 Lunar New Year style. This one definitely seems a lot closer to that theme with the red and the gold. So this red pair is January the 18th as a China exclusive, so that makes a lot of sense. One of the most anticipated and I would say hyped Kobe's that's going to be dropping this entire year has to be the Kobe 6 Pro Tro All-Star colorway. These are going to be dropping February the 13th, so that makes sense as well. All-Star weekend for this pair of shoes. And then this one at the top here is a little bit confusing. So it says February the 8th, 2024. I don't know whether that was a mistake or if they literally did drop in 2024. So I don't know. If any of you guys know if these things are already dropped or if they are upcoming, let me know down in the comment section. But those are the main Kobe's happening right around the corner. Let's keep it moving. Another Lunar New Year collaboration or themed pair of shoes, which is going to be dropping this month, is Adidas's collaboration with Clot. This is one of their cooler models, I would say. It's like a different version of the Superstar. They've changed it up significantly, and this colorway is not the worst. It's all over silk with like the Clot pattern all over it. You got the leather shell toe, which definitely adds a premium touch, and then you've got like the exaggerated midsole and outsole, so it's like super spiky and kind of elevated. I've actually not tried this pair of shoes, I don't think. It's an interesting model. It's not really my thing, but it definitely takes like an elevated version on the regular Superstar, so if you're into that, this is a pretty cool colorway. The materials look absolutely crazy on here as well, so yeah, super premium. Either way, these are going to be dropping January the 16th. This one is pretty weird for a couple different reasons. So Salehe, Bembury, and New Balance are going to be collaborating on an upcoming 1500 model or 1500, however you say it, but it's going to retail for $275. Now, I think this is a pretty expensive pair of shoes. I think here in the UK, it's like 200 bucks for this GR model. Not entirely sure what that is in USD, maybe 220. So 275 is steep for this sneaker. Now, on top of that, if you take a look at this pair of shoes, does this look like a Salehe Bembury collaboration to you? To me, not at all. There's no crazy colors. There's no craziness going on with this pair of shoes. It just kind of looks like a GR colorway. And that is very different for Salehe Bembury. Usually, he adds some of the wildest color mashups that we've ever seen. Now, this is a made in UK version, and you can see some kind of, you know, some very slight Salehe Bembury touches here, like this little section with the orange and the purple. Around the back, you got some blue on the outsole as well. But other than that, it's pretty toned down for a Salehe Bembury collaboration, which is interesting. These are going to be dropping at some point this month. No exact release date, but let me know, would you buy these things for $275, or is this a pass? We just got some first looks at the upcoming Air Jordan 3 Lucky shorts. I say first looks because it's not. We've seen these things before, but we have a new release date as well as a couple new images, basically inspired by Michael Jordan's UNC shorts that he wore underneath his Chicago Bulls shorts. So they really go after everything when it comes to like drawing inspiration from Michael Jordan. Like they've done the work. So this is them on foot, which in my opinion, this is a very, very nice colorway on the Jordan 3. I'm a big fan of it. I know that they've swapped out some of the like iconic, you know, different things about the Jordan 3, like the elephant print. We now just have plain old suede, but I don't mind it. It kind of reminds me of the Craft 3s, just with less of the interesting new details and just keeps it pretty minimal. Colors are really nice, obviously heavily inspired by the UNC colors, which you have around the back. These are now going to be dropping February the 22nd. Also dropping in February, a pair of shoes that has been pushed beyond belief. I've never seen a pair of shoes delayed this much, but it's the black toe reimagined Jordan 1 highs. So I think these were originally supposed to drop like late January, early February. Now they've been pushed to literally the day after the massive Bread 85 release, which is February the 15th. An interesting move because I feel like these have kind of already been cooked. There's so many pairs available for a very reasonable price on the aftermarket. I think they're about retail price on places like GOAT and StockX. So people that still really want them, like after the Bread release and the amount of shoes that are dropping in 2025, like from Nike and Jordan Brand, you really have so much to choose from. Are you going to be going for these at this point? Definitely is one of the most different Jordan ones that we've seen in recent times, just with a different branding. It has a special story behind it, but yeah, I don't know how many people are actually going to be going head over heels for these things, just with the sheer amount of stuff that they have in terms of other options. A little bit beforehand, staying in February, we've got the AE1, the Adidas AE1 Stormtrooper Low. So I think we had the mids a while back, but this is just a very clean colorway on a very solid model. Sneaker of the year, according to a lot of people, for 2024. And these are going to be dropping February the 1st. Gotta be honest, they've been pumping out some decent colorways of this pair of shoes. I think my most recent favorite has to be the blue one, but this white one one is certainly solid. Very, very simple, just obviously white and black. Also in February, we just got looks at Nike's new Valentines release. Usually they drop Forces or Dunks, and this year they're sticking with that. No changes here. We've got the Nike Air Force One Low Roses pack. This one's actually pretty cool. I like this white one a lot with the roses on the side, which is kind of like, you know, pressed in leather to some degree. You've even got some different cuts of the paneling over here, yet they still keep it very Air Force One. The red one, a little bit more on the crazy side, like rocking solid red shoes is definitely a statement piece, especially with the roses, but the solid white ones, I'm not mad at all. Obviously, these should be dropping around Valentine's Day, so I would expect February the 14th or earlier. Sticking with Nike, we've got a couple more updates from them. First one is our first looks at the upcoming Nike Vaporfly 4, the lightest runner of the series. This is going to be super quick because these things look practically identical to the third version. Like, I think the main change is the fact that they don't have like the little window over here in the back. The rest of it, like the shape, looks very, very similar. So nothing too crazy new here, but yeah, this is the first look. $260 retail, dropping at some point this year, I would imagine pretty soon. This one's interesting because I don't know how people feel about this. Is this going to be another failed Nike GR sneaker? But they're going to be pumping out more Air Trainer Huarache. So obviously they did the collaboration with Cortez, however you say it, and now they're going to be doing the GR colorways. First one that we have a look of is this ice blue colorway, which is not bad. I'm just not entirely sure how people are feeling about this model because we saw the Cortez collaboration, I think, pretty much sit. Definitely sold out on Cortez's website, but I don't know if it completely sold out, or at least resale is nothing crazy, so I'm not entirely sure of the demand for this pair of shoes. It'll be interesting to see how the model does though, if people do like some of the upcoming GR colorways. Interestingly, retail is $140, so Cortez was basically just taxing because I think that was $200 or over for that pair of shoes. If these are $140, that's not bad. That definitely changes things significantly. This one's pretty cool. Nike has completely recrafted the Air Max 90 for spring 2025. We've got two different pairs which look pretty dope. So we got this one over here, which I think is my favorite. It's got like the paint splatters on the front. It's got a painted on Nike swoosh. At least that's what it looks like. You've got little metal eye stays, which look pretty cool. It's a little bit of a rougher texture for the leather. And then we also have a sail colorway, which looks even more interesting. You can't even see the Nike swoosh, so it almost looks like a unbranded Nike Air Max 90. This one, you've got golden eye stays. Also looks to be completely different material, whether this is leather or some kind of like waterproof material. I'm not entirely sure. They're going to be dropping at some point this year. No exact release date, although these are official images, so I would expect within the next couple weeks. They're going to be $160. Right, we got some more Jordan leaks. This one's pretty crazy because we've actually got some first images, some in-hand looks at the upcoming Air Jordan 3 Ma Maniere collaboration, which is dropping this springtime, so very soon. And this is it, the diffused blue colorway on March the 15th. So as you can see from these images, very, very reminiscent to the original pair. This one over here, there's a few subtle differences, but it does, you know, obviously do some of the normal things like swap out the elephant print for a soft suede. You still got the sail down midsole, except on this one, you now have more sail instead of the white like the original pair had. The leather looks pretty decent. They've gone with a much darker color suede, which actually I think a lighter gray could have looked good. Like if they did the same color as they did on the originals, that would be nice with the blue color. These ones switch it up for quilted insoles, which is pretty interesting. That was not on the original pair. And also this sock liner looks like it's a different material, which I actually think would be nicer. This one goes for a solid sail back tab, which actually I think I prefer this one where it's like slightly semi-translucent. I thought that was a really nice touch. I kind of wish that they continued that. I imagine you have the same kind of little text around the back heel. Oh yeah, okay. I should have just waited for that. Overall, this is a solid pair of threes. I don't know if people are going to like these things more than the originals. Probably not, but they might like them a lot more than the black pair that just dropped. We'll have to wait and see. We've also got some slightly better images of probably one of the most anticipated sneakers for this year, and that is the Air Jordan 4 White Cement. This is it over here. I think we were looking at very terrible images to start off with. This, you can kind of get a little bit of a better idea of the shape and the leather that they've used on here. Doesn't look like it's anything special, but it does look true to the OG and just what I think most people want. Here's some closer shots of the speckling around the back as well as the Nike Air branding. Here's underneath, you've got a red Nike branding, which is pretty tough. This was the shot that we were looking at before, which yeah, it definitely doesn't give the best look at the shape and everything like that. We also got a new release date for these. They're going to be dropping May the 24th, so right around the corner. And man, 2025, I'm so excited for this year. There's so much going on, so many insane drops. It's just going to be a good time to be a sneakerhead this year because a lot of them could be going for like under retail or just like pretty reasonable prices. Sunday, we spoke about the Flu Game 12s. We just got some better images. They were looking super greasy in those flash shots. Now you can see they look exactly how you would want them to look. Same as usual, you know, the leather's nothing crazy. No release date, just at some point this year. I imagine towards the back half, although we are already seeing early images, so kind of makes me think that these might drop early or mid this year. Either way, this is them. You can see the boxes over here with the orange lid. That's what they're going to come in. And yeah, these are going to retail for $210. And these are your best looks. Let me know what you think of these down in the comment section, but let's keep it moving. We've got much better images of the upcoming Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4, which is going to be dropping March the 23rd. So March, May, February, every month is stacked. You cannot take a break this year. These things are looking much better with these shots. Like, they look a lot more orange rather than the red that we were seeing from some of the on-foot shots that we saw, like the first looks. The bike air branding on the back, I don't know if people call it bikey. It's obviously bike. You've also got the mini Nike swoosh, which I really like on the toe box over here, as well as whatever material this is. It looks like some kind of rougher material to kind of, I guess, be used as a biking or skating type shoe. You just make it a little bit more durable, but it's actually not bad. For like an orange pair of Jordans, I do not mind these at all. Let me know what you think about these down in the comment section. Are you messing with them or is this a pass? 2025 marks another year for some more Terror Squad Nike Air Force Ones. This time the University Red colorway. These are going to be dropping later this year on August the 1st or at some point in August. This one's pretty straightforward. So we had the black and white colorway. I don't know if we had another one as well. Either way, that's exactly what this one's going to be, just red instead of black. You got the TS branding embroidered onto the heel, and that is pretty much it for this pair of shoes. It's pretty clean. You do also have some embroidery around the back as well, maybe a logo. The material's way better than your standard pair. You've got a leather sock liner as well on this pair, and they look pretty clean. Let me know if you like these or not. Adidas is bringing Yeezys back, or not really, but this is the Adidas Power Face. This one's pretty interesting. Basically, when they did the Yeezy collaboration, they made into a pair of Yeezy shoes. It was a little bit weird because it had zero branding. Nothing was really changed on it, except for I think the one thing that was changed was they wrote Calabasas here instead of Power Face. And that was the only Yeezy branding. They were never that popular as far as like Yeezy shoes, especially compared to obviously the hype from the rest of the different models that they did. Either way, this pair of shoes is going to be coming back. Is this the first Yeezy that Adidas is going to be bringing back without Kanye West? Maybe. Certainly be the easiest place to start from them because you don't really have to do anything in terms of changing branding or anything like that. Just slap the regular Power Face on here. And yes, I do know that this pair of shoes is an Adidas model. It's not something that was Yeezy. I would definitely say it was made popular by Yeezy. It's a clean low top model, classic silhouette. They're going to retail for $110. Let me know what you think of these down in the comment section. That is not it for Yeezy news. We do have some more, this time without Adidas. And it's Ye doing Ye things. He posted on Instagram a life story of stuff, basically taking shots at Adidas, taking shots at Jerry Lorenzo, and also talking about some upcoming stuff for his $20 Yeezy line, which is very interesting. So this is the entire post over here, and I'm not going to read this out verbatim. I'm just going to kind of highlight the main points. Basically, the first thing that he's kind of discussing over here is the fact that when you search Yeezy on Google, Adidas Yeezy pops up as the first thing, and then you can see underneath here is Ye's website, Yeezy.com. So he goes at Adidas saying, stop doing this, stop doing your moves to hold me back. Our partnership is done. You're a $60 billion company that froze my account. Now I'm back on my feet, no pun intended, and I'm not going to stand for this. No pun intended. I did phenomenal work for you guys, and because I stood up for myself, y'all tried to intimidate and oppress me. Now, I don't know if this is necessarily Adidas's fault, although maybe they could remove this this website where it has like Yeezy news. You know, the collaboration is done. They should probably just axe this website. You know, apart from that, this is kind of just Google's ranking. It's really not much to do with Adidas, at least I think. And then he goes on to a bunch of different other points. He says, side note, y'all know Jerry was corny phony and disloyal for doing work with Adidas after the way that they handled things. I still showed up to his show that was a copy of my Hollywood Bowl show, being the so-called bigger man, but I'm never doing that again for no one. It's Yeezy over everything. Then he goes after a bunch of other people which we're not entirely sure of. He just says that everyone that ever took a picture next to me that had their own clothing lines had their own agendas, and everyone knows they was acting like they were my friends trying to promote their weak-ass fake Yeezy line. Then he talks about his brand, which is the $20 Yeezy line. Basically, he's now promised that everything's going to, or he's going to try and make everything $20. And this is where things get interesting for how Yeezy might have a huge comeback here in 2025. So he starts by saying, "I'm here to dominate as I always have. The Yeezy $20 price is burning the game to the ground, leaving only Yeezy left. Everyone knows the costs in luxury fashion are way marked up. I should have never wore those Prada glasses. The Yeezy.com site made $100 million last year, and that was only with it being up for 6 months. He also said that they sold over 1 million pairs of Yeezy pod socks. And here's the key point, I've been working on 10 other styles for the past 2 years. It's Yeezy for the people, everything else was in the way." So it looks like we're getting a ton of Yeezy without Adidas this year, and it really shows that like Ye is trying to actually make this a proper thing and not just album merch like with the Bully stuff and the Vulture stuff. Now the one thing I do hope with this is that his shoes don't cost $20, because we probably won't get anything better than Yeezy pods if that's the case. Let me know what you'd like to see from this down in the comment section, but let's keep it moving. Final story for today, Stadium Goods is closing its New York City store, and this is a pretty big deal. So the reseller will shutter its location at 47 Howard on January the 19th, so in about 10 days. So this is definitely part of a bigger story of just the sneaker game in general. Pretty much a lot of these resale stores and resellers are all struggling to keep their, stores or locations, because I guess people are just not spending that much money on shoes like they used to. And Stadium Goods being probably the biggest in terms of the hype culture and the resale culture. They say news of the closure comes amid struggles for Farfetch, the once mighty online fashion retailer that acquired Stadium Goods in December 2018. Following years of big ticket acquisitions and mounting losses, Farfetch escaped bankruptcy after being bailed out by South Korean online retailer Coupang in December 2023. So basically, Farfetch is feeling the squeeze and the market change a little bit more, so they're having to shut down some of these physical Stadium Goods locations. Obviously, Stadium Goods is not going anywhere. They're going to keep some locations open, but mainly focus on their digital stores. I'm sure you guys must have noticed that a lot of these, little sneaker reseller stores that were around a couple years ago have been dropping off the map. It is happening more and more, and even bigger platforms like I believe StockX and GOAT are kind of feeling this. Definitely their margins on certain sneakers are not as high. I wonder how this kind of plays out throughout the rest of 2025. Are we going to see more of this in bigger and bigger places all shutting their doors? Where is sneaker reselling going to be at the end of this year? Will it even exist? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, but that wraps it up for this week. Don't forget to subscribe, because we do this every Sunday and every Wednesday, little news updates. If you want to catch another video, just click that one right over there.